What's up guys, T-Mart here, and today we are going to be talking about what we can expect from weekend 2 of the Call of Duty World War II beta. We're almost there, baby. It's starting on Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, which is just under 48 hours from now. And today, Michael Condrey and Greg Reisdorf did an interview with PlayStation talking about what we can expect from weekend 2. The stuff that they're adding in, the stuff that they're changing. They took some community questions. It was great, and we found out a lot about what we're going to be playing this weekend. So they did say we are going to be getting a brand new map, and it's not the map we were expecting. We're getting Aachen, which you guys are seeing a little kind of like preview fly-through type thing right here. Aachen is a northern city in Germany where a brutal and dramatic battle went down during World War II, and it ended up destroying most of the town. So you guys can see from this preview, I mean, it's going to be urban combat, but everything's destroyed. Buildings are falling apart. It looks pretty cool. They said it's a medium-sized map, and it's kind of in a plus formation. So you're going to have these long lines of sights down the streets. You're going to have people up in windows and stuff like that. So they said there are going to be a lot of power positions for snipers and LMGs, which most of the maps we've had so far in the beta have been pretty close quarters. So this is going to be a nice way to see, you know, a little bit longer lines of sight. They also said we are going to be getting a new mode. They did not say which mode it's going to be, so who knows? Let me know which one you guys want to see down in the comments, and no, it's not going to be search and destroy. We'll talk about that later because they talked about that in the fan Q&A. We're going to be getting at least 2 new weapons. I would assume we're going to be getting more, so if you guys don't know, they're going to be extending the level cap to level 40, which is an extra 15 levels from where we were when we left off with the first weekend, which I would assume there'd be at least like 4 to 5 new weapons in that 15 level range, but they did confirm 2 on the live stream today. Number 1 is the Springfield, baby. The M1a1 bolt-action sniper rifle is gonna be back. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this. I like literally cheered out loud when they mentioned it on stream. So we're gonna be able to use the Springfield, which is very exciting. And they also confirmed that the M1a1 Carbine is gonna be coming back as well. So this was actually one of my favorite weapons back in Call of Duty World at War. I loved it because I always had a really fast trigger finger. I could fire semi-auto weapons really, really quickly. And this thing has decent power, but really, really low recoil. So they said, whereas the M1 Garand is a 2-shot kill and has a ton of recoil, this is going to be a 3-shot kill, but it's going to have minimal recoil. So I feel like this thing's going to be pretty good. I just hope that there's not a really high fire rate cap on it, kind of like there are in the pistols, or I guess, would you call it really low? I don't know, like the pistols you can't fire very fast. No matter how fast you pull your finger, it's just like it's locked to one rate of fire. Hopefully they don't have that on the M1a1, because if they don't, it's probably going to be really, really good. With all these extra levels, we're also going to be getting other new things. So like basic trainings, there are going to be more of those. They actually said we're going to be unlocking new uniforms. So we're going to get a little bit of character customization. There was already a little bit in there. You could like change your face and stuff, but we couldn't change any of our uniforms. So we'll see what they've got in line for cosmetics there, at least a little taste. And then they also said that we are going to be getting 2 new Scorestreaks. One is going to be the Flamethrower, which they said visually is insane. So I've actually used the Flamethrower in kind of like the alpha build of the game. Imagine running around and just spraying fire everywhere. And like, you know when you use an Incendiary Shell, you set somebody on fire and they start screaming and that sort of thing? It's like that, except 10 times worse. And you can get multiple people all at once. It's a lot of fun. So that's going to be pretty cool. And they also said we're going to be getting the Mortar Strike, which is, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a staple of this time period for Call of Duty. So that should be a pretty cool one as well. Now, they also said they are going to be making some changes based off of our feedback from the first weekend, which I think is really, really cool. The fact that they're fixing this for the beta is insane, and I think it goes a long way to show that when the game comes out in November, when we have issues and problems arise and balance and stuff like that, they're really going to be on top of it. So pat in the back for Sledgehammer for this. But they said they're going to be fixing some of the loading times. So like, I'm assuming that means the time it takes to get from the end of one game into the post-game lobby, which is exciting. They said they're going to be adjusting the hit markers, which that was one of my biggest complaints. I'm hoping they make them a little bit more dramatic. I hope we get better headshot sounds, and I hope we get some sort of like red or oranges like final kill hit marker type deal. And they also said they're going to be balancing the score that you get for kills and domination. They've they've doubled it up to 100. So previously in Dom, if you weren't capping objectives, you had to get 10 kills in a row to be able to get a UAV. Now it's going to be the normal amount of just having to get 5, which is exciting. And then they also said, I have a little cheat sheet over here. They said that TDM is going to be extended to 100. A lot of people were saying the 75 score limit made games go a little bit too quickly. So they're going to try out a slightly longer game and see how that works out. They're also going to be balancing some of the streaks currently in the beta. So one of these balances I absolutely agree with. That's the paratroopers. They are going to be giving those guys a buff. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do here. They could give them more health. They could make them more aggressive and better at killing people. They could do a little bit of both. We'll see what happens, but they definitely needed something. As the highest score streak in the beta, they're just not very good. They're only good for a couple of kills. So I'm excited about that. The other balance, I don't know if I like. I kind of disagree with it, but I mean, they're the game devs. They have the data. They know what they're talking about. Technically, I don't. I just like using Molotovs, so I don't want to see this happen. But they did say that Molotovs are going to get a nerf. They said that because it's the lowest streak and it's so easy to get at 300 points, they feel like there are way too many Molotovs being thrown around. And instead of getting 2 Molotovs, you're now only going to get 1. And honestly, I think this makes Molotovs completely useless. I already didn't think Molotovs were that great. I think the reason why a lot of people are running them is because it's the only super low streak in the game right now. We don't have that many options for streaks because it's the beta. And, you know, yeah, there have been a lot of them, but it's just because they're fun. And I think when people have more streaks to choose from and more exciting streaks to choose from and higher streaks to choose from, people aren't going to be picking mollies anymore, especially in the main game. But they're still going to be useless, you know what I mean, at that point. Like, if we only have one, there's just not even a reason to run that. Like, getting 300 score for 1 Molotov that doesn't even kill people when you land it near them half the time, it's just going to make those things useless. So I'm really sad about that. Rest in peace, the Molotov. Go ahead and throw the casket in the dirt because that thing's not going to be fun to use anymore. So that's what's going on there. They also talked a little bit about the Incendiary Shells on the shotguns. They said they're not quite ready to nerf them yet. The data's just not there. It's not saying that they're overpowered, but they're going to try making it so that it's the kind of like secondary option when you spawn in. So you're going to spawn in with normal shells, and if you want Incendiary, you're going to have to actually load them in, and they're going to see how that works out. They said that actually the Incendiary Shells are weaker than the normal shells. The normal shells pack a lot of punch right at first. The Incendiary Shells pack less. It's just they do damage over time, and that leads to those, you know, frustrating deaths around corners and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that should definitely cut back on the incendiary span that we've seen throughout the first weekend of this beta. And then finally, they talked a little bit about grenades. Somebody asked, hey, are you going to do something about the grenades? They're awfully powerful. They said that they're monitoring it very, very closely, but they don't feel like anything needs to be done at this time, but they're going to keep their eye on it. They said they do realize that boots are back on the ground. You can't just boost away from a grenade and get out of there really, really quickly. But so far, they feel like they're in a decent spot, which I kind of agree with. Like, I want grenades to be able to get kills. I don't want grenades to be weak. Grenades are an important part of Call of Duty. So I think for now, they're in a good spot. We'll see what happens as weekend 2 goes on. Finally, they took a couple of questions from the community. So somebody asked, are we going to see some bigger maps in the actual full game? Because, I mean, you guys know, the 3 maps we've seen so far, Point to Hawk, Gibraltar, and Arden Forest, some of them have like a couple of decent lines of sight, but a lot of the times, a lot of the action is super close quarters, really fast, in your face, that sort of thing. And the devs said that absolutely, they're going to have a huge variety of maps at launch. There are going to be some big ones with long lines of sight that play a little bit slower, that sort of thing. They said they're actually trying to tailor some of the maps with certain divisions in mind. So it encourages you to try out different divisions and play to those division skills per the map set. So they said that without a doubt, we're definitely gonna have more, and we'll actually get one this weekend with that Aachen map. It's gonna be a little bit more on the longer range side of things, which is good. You always want variety. Somebody else asked regarding to maps, is there gonna be a map voting system in the full game? And they said absolutely. So I saw a lot of people talking about this. I was surprised people were concerned by this. I mean, I can't imagine a Call of Duty without a map voting system. I guess some people were worried it was going to be in the game. They said that they don't have the map voting in the beta just because they want to control what maps are being played because it helps with their data collection. So they can, like, you know, if they haven't seen enough of Gibraltar, they can force a bunch of Gibraltar games onto the beta so they can get more feedback on Gibraltar, that sort of thing. So they didn't want like one map to get left out. They wanted to kind of use this as a learning experience. Like I said before, the beta is not all about our enjoyment. It's about them collecting data and making the game better. So that's why there's no map voting system in this version of the beta. And finally, the big question, Search and Destroy. What the heck is going on with Search and Destroy? we didn't learn anything new. Somebody asked, is Search and Destroy coming? What the heck's going on? Is it going to be in the beta? They said Search and Destroy is one of their favorite modes at the studio. They cannot wait to release it. They just want to make sure it's perfect first. That's why it's not in the beta, and it's not going to be coming to the beta this weekend. We're going to have to wait until launch to see Search and Destroy, which I'm sad about, but if it's going to make it a better game mode, I guess we could be okay with that. I mean, November's only a couple of months away. So there you guys have it. That's everything we have to know about the upcoming beta weekend 2. There's going to be a new mode we don't know about yet. There's going to be a new map, Aachen. There's going to be some new weapons, Scorestreaks, equipment, all kinds of cool stuff. It's going to be a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace out.